Okay, I just got back from seeing Venom. I think it was Venom. Otherwise, I don't know what the fuck I just saw. Okay, yeah, I went to see Venom, and I want to talk about it because I've just seen it not too long ago, and my opinions are fresh off my mind. I think I haven't uploaded in a while, and my first idea for a video is come back and talk about a movie that is supposed to be horrible, according to pretty much everyone on the internet right now. People are really hating on this movie, and I understand it to a certain extent, but a lot of the stuff that people are complaining about, I don't think it's 100% justified. Is this a good movie? Not necessarily, depending on the way you look at it. Is it going to entertain you? Probably. I found it entertaining, and honestly, I kind of want to go see it again. I actually found it really enjoyable. It was funny, believe it or not. It was actually really fucking funny. I don't know why it was funny. I don't know if they went for funny. It seemed like they were trying to make it funny, which is funny considering the fact that it's in a horror category. Why is this in a horror genre? How is this horror? This does not feel like horror. This did not feel like anything near horror. Yeah, Venom looks a bit creepy, and yeah, there's kind of creepy elements to it, but I would not consider this a horror movie in the slightest. If anything, I think they should just branded this off as a comedy movie, because honestly, it could have passed for it. It is funny, and it is an enjoyable experience. Fundamentally though, is it a good movie? Is there a good plot structure? Is there character development and all this other fucking jazzy shit that I honestly don't care too much about? I know a lot of people do, but I don't really care. If the movie entertains me, the movie entertains me. I'm happy enough. But yeah, is it a good movie looking at it from plot and different things like that? Probably not. Like, seriously, this movie's kind of all over the place, and honestly, it'll probably make you laugh more at the fact of how ridiculous some of the shit is in this movie. I've heard this a lot on a YouTuber I've been watching recently, known as the Cosmic Variety Hour dude. I don't know, but yeah, this guy I've been watching, he talked about the movie, he went to see it, and yeah, he gave it like a 3 out of 10 or some shit, but he said it was still funny, it was still enjoyable because of how fucking ridiculous the movie is. It really is ridiculous, and a lot of the plot points and different things that happen in the movie don't make much sense. I don't want to really spoil anything here. I will talk about spoilers at some point later on in the video, just for anyone wondering. I'll mention in clear definition that it's going to be spoilers though, but for now I want to keep it spoiler free and just say that yeah, it was an enjoyable movie. It was an enjoyable time, and one of the key features of this movie is Venom. Venom is my favorite character in the movie. He has a good personality. He has a character to him, which is good. It's really good, actually. It's really fucking entertaining just seeing how this character bonds with Eddie Brock, and they really make a good match. Tom Hardy playing Eddie Brock mixed with Venom here, they really match well together. Like, seriously, Tom Hardy plays the role very, very well. He really suits it, and that's really what makes this movie. Without Tom Hardy, without Eddie Brock and Venom, and the personality between these two characters here and the connection, this movie would be complete and utter shit. But considering they do work well together, it's actually a good time. Now, I've been hearing a lot of things about, like, the character, like, the love interest in the film. I don't even know her name. That's how much I don't give a shit about her. I don't really care, to be honest. I don't know her name. I'm just gonna call her Blonde Chick. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. But yeah, Blonde Chick and Eddie Brock, do they work well together? Not really. They really don't have chemistry, I feel as though, and I understood where a lot of people are saying that they don't have chemistry, because they really don't. I don't think they really match too well together. It's not as bad as I think some people are making it out to be, but at the same time, I really don't think they worked well together. More than anything in this movie, she actually kind of pissed me off, and I just didn't really want her there a lot of the time. I don't know, she was just kind of an annoying character. She wasn't necessarily really bad, but I don't know, I don't know. She does kind of play somewhat an important role to the story. I've heard a lot of people saying that she's completely useless. If you've seen the movie, you do understand that she is actually used for something in the movie, and she does have a purpose, and I do see her purpose there, but I just feel as though the actor maybe doesn't work too well, or maybe, I don't know, just the writing or something just doesn't match there that I feel as though, yeah, it could have been improved on and could have worked better. Another thing is, this movie didn't get an R rating. This movie was rated PG-13 in America. I don't live in America. Where I live, the movie's actually rated 15, which is pretty much an equivalent to R rating. Well, at least movies like Deadpool and stuff get a 15 as well. But I don't even know why this movie got a 15. I don't really think it needed a 15. But the movie itself was, it definitely could have benefited from an R rating, as I said, from America. Like, whenever Venom bites off someone's head, there's no blood, there's nothing, it's just literally a crunch, and then that's it. It's not very realistic, and it feels stupid, not to mention the fact that some guy gets penetrated, like, through the chest, and there's no blood. that doesn't feel realistic. I don't know, some different parts in the movie, I feel as though it could have really benefited, because Venom is a dark character. Venom is, if you read the comic books, if you look at a lot of stuff, Venom is supposed to be dark. He's not supposed to be some child-friendly fucking Build-A-Bear workshop toy. He's not supposed to be like that. He's supposed to be dark, he's supposed to be scary as shit, and he's supposed to fucking murder people, and it should be bloody, it should be violent, it should be downright dark. And that's where I feel as though this movie kind of goes in the opposite direction. As I said, it's still enjoyable, considering the fact that Venom is funny, and he has a good personality, and it's really interesting. As I said, the relationship between Eddie and Venom in this movie is really what makes this movie, and really, it's really fucking good. I cannot describe to you, that is the one good thing. This movie is not the greatest movie, and yeah, it's kind of all over the place, but I gotta say, the relationship between Eddie Brock and Venom is fucking phenomenal. It's really, really good, and that's one thing I really love in this movie, that it's really entertaining. It is really good, and if anything, them two have a lot better chemistry than the girl. I don't know her name, blonde chick. Another thing I want to talk about here is the acting was kind of funny in this movie. I feel as though the reactions from the characters did not seem realistic, like, whatsoever, and that's one thing that just doesn't make any sense. Like, whenever Eddie Brock gets the suit, or whenever, like, the thing, like the head comes out of his body and looks at him, you'd think he'd be a little freaked out, would he not? Or, like, jump, or at least do something. All he does is sit there. What the fuck? Like, seriously, that made no sense to me. I was expecting some sort of reaction or something. It looked like he was staring off into dead space and daydreaming or some shit. I don't know what he was doing, but it really just confused me. It just didn't make much sense. The reactions in this movie were really fucking weird. I feel as though the characters should have reacted a bit more shocked or something. Just give me some reaction. I felt as though the acting was just kind of poor at times. I don't know, maybe that was just me, but there was other times in the movie where the acting was fucking phenomenal, and I really liked it. I don't know, this was just an all-around very weird and up and down movie. I don't even know how I feel about it. It's really fucking weird. Okay, now I want to talk a little about spoilers, but before I do that, I want to give the movie a quick rating here, just for anyone that hasn't seen it. I just want to rate it here quickly. Now, I will say, as an action superhero, horror, whatever the fuck they were trying to make this, or whatever genre this movie was supposed to go into, as that, I would give it probably a 6. I don't know, it's not the greatest. I don't think it fits into that genre too well, and as I said, the movie's all over the place, but as a comedy and for entertainment purposes, if you're just looking to have a good time, this thing's a good solid, like, fucking 9.5 out of 10 or something. It is really entertaining, and that's one thing I gotta say about it. It is funny, and if anything, you'll probably find it more funny at how kind of goofy and weird and wacky it is. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I want to talk about spoilers now, so if you haven't seen the movie, please find your nearest fire exit or whatever, I don't know. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the acting in this movie I just didn't really think was the greatest a lot of the time, but there was one scene that I really, really loved, and I really love the acting from Tom Hardy in it, where the girl, blonde chick, whatever her name is, sees Venom for the first time, and then Venom turns back into Eddie or whatever, and yeah, he turns back into Eddie form, human form, and then he runs after, and then they start talking about some shit or something, and then he says he's scared, and I don't know why, but that line just really hit me. I think it's the way he said it, and the timing he said it, because most of the time when I've been watching this movie, I'm thinking to myself, he doesn't seem very shocked by what is going on around him. As I mentioned earlier, the reactions just feel kind of fake. Like, if this was me, I'd be screaming my ass off. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? I must be dreaming. This isn't reality. This is not my life. No, definitely not. So whenever he said that, I don't know, the way he said it and the acting from Tom Hardy here, I felt as though there was a lot of emotion, felt as though put behind whenever he said he was scared. He generally looked and sounded scared, and I don't know, that line for some reason just really hit me. I really love that scene, and I don't give a shit when anyone else says. That is honestly one of my favorite lines and one of my favorite moments in the movie. Another thing I thought was so cool, whenever the girl gets the symbiote, I thought that was really, really cool, because if you haven't heard about like how Venom was supposed to be initially, Venom was actually supposed to be a girl. Just in case you didn't know, it was actually supposed to be, instead of Eddie Brock, it was supposed to be like his wife or some girl or something, supposed to be annoyed because I think she like lost her baby or something due to some done by Spider-Man, that's why she gets annoyed at Spider-Man or something like that. I think that was the whole initial backstory behind it, and Venom was initially supposed to be a girl, so seeing her take on the form was really, really cool, because this is actually how I imagined her in my head, as I imagined thinking, how would Venom look as a girl? And I think there is actually some comics and some things about Venom being a girl, or Venom taking over a woman host or whatever like that, and seeing it actually in the movie was really, really cool. I thought it was really, really cool, and I gotta say, props to them. The visual effects in this movie were really fucking on point, and I just thought this scene was really cool, and that's why I put it in the spoiler section here, just in case, because I really don't want to give this away. If anyone hasn't seen the movie, I want this to kind of be a bit of a surprise and just say, hey, look at what's in the movie. It's not very long lasting, but I just thought it was really, really cool to see for the short time that we did get to see it. Another thing I thought was pretty cool in the movie was Riot, and the entire time I was wondering, how is this guy gonna get Riot? I imagine he wouldn't put himself up as a test subject. He's seen that this thing can kill people, why would he go into it himself? But yeah, some little girl comes and delivers the package for him, because we've been following this person, or this symbiote, infect other people, take other people as hosts, and just try to deliver it to this guy. Why did we need to see all that? Did we need to see how this symbiote is more powerful than Venom? Because as Venom says in the movie, apparently they have a 0% chance of taking this guy down, and they felt as though they need to show how powerful this symbiote's supposed to be. I really feel as though they didn't show off the full potential of the symbiote. Like, Venom could do a lot of really cool stuff as well. What makes Riot so different? Did you not actually know that Venom can also morph his hand and different things into different shapes as well? Which actually did show that in the movie. Well, they showed like the tentacles or the suit or the symbiote actually coming out and different things, but Venom can actually make like pickaxes or axes and different things out of his hands. Just in case anyone actually didn't know that, apparently that is a power in the comics. Because if anyone remembers the original like Spider-Man TV show, like the 90s show or some shit like that, I think it was, Carnage was in that, and he could like form his arms out of like, or make his arms into like axes and different things, and Venom was never shown to be able to actually do that. I thought that was so cool. I always thought Carnage was the only symbiote to actually be able to do that, but no, apparently Venom can do it as well. He just chooses not to for some reason. I don't know. But while we're on the topic of the 90s TV show, I just want to say, I love that show. That show is my childhood. I actually want to go back and see that show. I might go back and like figure out a way to download it or some shit and actually just watch it again, because I love that show. That show was literally my childhood. I fucking loved it. It was just such a happy show, and anytime I hear the music of it, just the classic it's so good. I fucking love it. If you can't tell by this point, I'm kind of a pretty big Spider-Man fan. Yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty much all I gotta say. I know after I'm finished making this video, I'm probably gonna think of something extra, but for now, that's pretty much all I can think of at the moment anyway. I do want to say though that I was really, really, really looking forward to this movie. Initially, whenever I first saw the first trailer, I was so hyped, and whenever we first got to see what Venom was gonna look like, holy fuck, I was taken away, and I was so looking forward to this movie. But then, it turned out that over time I just kind of lost my interest in the movie, and whenever I heard it wasn't going to be an R-rated movie, I was just like, at that point, I don't really care as much. Yeah, I'm still going to go see the movie, and yeah, it's still definitely a fun movie. I really, really want to go see it again, actually. I probably will go see it next week again, but at the same time, I'm not like really, really big hyped up as I was initially, and I'm really glad I didn't, because if I was like that going into the movie, I probably would have been pretty big or pretty disappointed. What's the word I'm looking for here? I probably would have been very disappointed going into the movie and it not being what I initially expected in my head, because it wasn't what I wanted it to be initially. But at the same time, it was still a fun movie. It was still a good movie, in my opinion anyway, in the fact that it entertained me. So yeah, I still think it was enjoyable, and it was overall just a fun time. Now, if they do end up making a sequel with Carnage, I need to hear this. From the 90s TV show, a very famous line from Carnage, whenever Cassidy gets the symbiote, what he says is, "Cassidy is gone, there is only Carnage!" And the way he says that, I just need to hear that line. Whenever Carnage breaks out of prison, or whatever's going to happen in the next movie, I really want to see him breaking out of prison, getting the symbiote, and saying that exact line. If that line is not in the movie, I will be so pissed. I love that line, it's so iconic, and the movie is just going to automatically suck for me if that line's not in the movie. So Sony, just get on that, whatever the fuck, just do that. Yeah.